It's March 27th, 2015. I'm actually reading this book, The Bad War, The Truth Never Taught About World War II by M.S. King. It is really, really well written and really, the truth practically. I researched the truth back in 2007 and reading hundreds of articles and reading literally I had a library of 1,500 digital books and I researched in them. I don't know how much text that I took through, but it was more than my entire high school and university time put together. So it was incredible, this information take through to know what really happened during World War I and World War II, and who are the real instigators of these wars. The so-called Zionists or Rothschilds or international Jewry. You cannot talk about these subjects openly at work or at the university or wherever you are actually, because people will not be able to understand you. If you question the official narrative on World War II and the so-called Holocaust, and say that you're a revisionist historian, that you research the articles that the revisionist historians put out on who.org and many, many other sites, you will come to the insight that it is fabricated. History is a fabrication in all aspects, not only concerning World War II, also concerning 9/11. And 20 years from now, if the Zionists are still in power, the history books will depict Osama bin Laden as the perpetrator of 9/11, whereas if you research it online and know the truth, you find out that it was an Israeli false flag operation, a Mossad false flag operation, a Mossad operation from the Israelis, the so-called Israeli Secret Service. So they fabricate history. People who see the truth on 9/11, that it was a so-called inside job, don't see the real research behind it or who is the real perpetrators of it. Some of them say it's even the Israeli Mossad, but then questioning the World War II aspects of this is nearly impossible because most of humanity has been so severely indoctrinated with hate propaganda that makes it impossible for them to think rationally or using logic and sound reasoning. I always compare it to myself. Imagine if I would meet myself when I was like before I wake up, when I was 22, 23, 24. I woke up in 2007. I was 23 or 24. But if I would meet myself younger, I would be arrogant, knowing it all better because I'm going to high school, highest level of pre-college education, pre-university education, yeah, ISO, in Belgium, Abitur, German Abitur. You always believe that you're being taught the right things. And I met somebody when I was younger, 17, and I was in school, and somebody came to me and says, well, there's life on all planets in the solar system. I was like, what is he saying? Yeah, well, he read books from apparent contactees that state that there are high dimensional aspects of these planets, and in these different planes there exist living life forms. Even the high dimensional planet Earth, there are so-called spirit entities that inhibit this higher frequency dimensions of Earth. Earth literally has a soul, but multiple layers of it. Just think of a centrifuge where the sediment is in different layers and it becomes lighter and lighter, and at there you have air. That's how you have to imagine the different dimensions, but together, inhibiting the same space. That's how the universe is actually built. So there are multiple dimensions of planet Earth. It's called Gaia hypothesis, that actually Earth is a living sentient entity that this universe is practically an intelligent living construct in all aspects. And we are the humans, we are above the animals because we are God-like created. We have the freedom of choice to adapt our surroundings to our needs. That's why I do not agree with the fact that we are nothing but animals. We live outside of the ecosystem. We do not fight to survive. Well, at least in this system we are fighting to survive on the financial way. You're working your ass off, so you're a slave of the system and they keep you busy. In a free society, an Aryan free society of the future, you will work only like two days a week, and for the rest you have leisure time and can do what you want. Be an artist, be a musician, do sports, relax, play, have fun, enjoy. Today we produce and produce and produce and produce, and we waste so much of our products, so much of our surroundings are being destroyed because of it. We are literally consuming this world. And we are producing and producing and producing. We should build for an eternity. Once we have our products that we need, we no longer need to produce and can do whatever we want. And in the future, it's going to be this way. If everybody wants a BMW high quality car, then everybody will shift to produce that car until everybody has it. It will not be a society where everybody's showing off with what he or she got. We will focus on not the material, but on the spiritual, to be satisfied of life. There will be a hierarchy. I believe it's going to be a monarchist kingdom, a real kingdom on earth, that the people on earth will be ruled by kings, and that they have taxes, of course, but not as high as they are today, to build a society, to make it comfortable, to make it good for us. Even the king will put the needs of the people in front of his own needs. So you don't have to believe that you will be slaves of a king and dictator. It will be like in the Third Reich, like in this book. Happy people. Real men with real power who love their people, like Adolf Hitler did. Create amazing things, and you only hear negative fear propaganda from the main news channels. The truth has to be researched, even on the so-called Holocaust. Over 70 million Germans perished during and after the war. Over 30 million Japanese. They create this myth and legend of fear, of hatred, eternal damnation, to cover up the facts of their own crimes against humanity and against creation. And you can't even mention this in normal working environments or in the day-to-day business. Sometimes at the barber shop, you can have your hair cut and you can talk about these things a little bit more, but you can never say that it's them behind it. And the greatest genocides in history were perpetrated by them. And they still do. Well, I had multiple visitations as well. And in one I was allowed to see with my third eye on how these ET civilizations appeared with a special ship. Again, this is the higher frequencies. We cannot see it with our eyes. They can theoretically manifest in our dimension. They do that sometimes, but not with these very large ships, I believe. These motherships are always in the higher frequencies, such as that they don't get noticed. Or sometimes they do become visible, and NASA actually then cuts the digital stream that comes from the ISS as an example. The Andromeda Geräte are carrier spaceships, the Andromeda devices, those Andromeda spaceship carriers. They're actually long-range spacecrafts. Their operational range is theoretically unlimited, only depending on how many supplies they can take with them. Pretty much as a U-boat, as an atomic U-boat, a nuclear submarine. They can stay underwater for half a year, depending on their supplies. There are nevertheless even larger ships from ET civilizations, Class 1, Class 2, Class 3, or even Class 4 and Class 5 civilizations. I believe Class 4 is multiple galaxies. I believe we get visited by Class 3 civilizations that spans multiple star systems, but that some civilizations even mastered intergalactic travel. They told me that this ship that arrived to monitor all humans on Earth comes from the Zoyaha galaxy, and they came here because it became peaceful, and that they can actually intervene in such a manner that they can monitor everybody on Earth, and everybody that believes either in God, Jesus Christ, or in the so-called ETs, good ETs that help them, guide them. They can be influenced if they truly believe in them, actually, and they welcome their contact. So many people who believe in God actually are guided by him or by these higher dimensional entities or ET civilizations. And I was allowed to see like a huge screen full of screens in themselves. It was I think hundreds or even of thousands of screens, I don't know. It was just imagine a big screen being made really with many different lives, with many different people, and they can monitor anybody actually like a camera. Sometimes I feel this, that I'm being monitored, not all the time, but they can do this. It's like a stream of information. And it is possible with so-called non-locality that you build technology that actually goes into the Akashic record, and even from that point can actually access any point in space and see. Just compare to our astral projection, where you go with your soul, or you look with your inner sensory visual input device, that's your eyes actually, you can actually see miles or light years away. These are all psionic abilities that mankind can develop. It's called remote viewing. Remote viewing can be also time independent. You could theoretically view into the future and view into the past by accessing the Akasha Chronic. Just imagine this as a web of creation, and that all humans are doing their part, and that they're all actually going on a certain wave. So I believe in a deterministic universe that you can influence global affairs, but that, well, God has an oversight and knows what is going to happen and sees actually literally as everything that is happening on Earth and beyond can be viewed by these extraterrestrials or by God. But it is again a topic that is really, I said to a YouTuber that I'm comparable to all these contactees. I came to an insight and to a consciousness that they can manifest and even talk to you. They say that this year something important will happen. I don't know. I just hope that the global turning comes quickly. At the same time, I do not see their information as the truth, because I don't want to be influenced by it. I need to live on my own. I need to live a life normal out here on Earth. If it all changes and the global turning does happen, then of course I will try to do my part as good as possible. Cheers.
He exists in a world beyond your world. We only fantasize. He does. He lives a life